the real man and reason why Playboi Carti is who he is today. Now, I'm sure, especially given, the audience on this channel, a lot of you know Playboi Carti's whole backstory in that he met A$AP Rocky, who eventually signed him to his A$AP Og label. He met Ian Connor and A$AP Bari, who were huge factors in aligning this connection with A$AP Rocky, who then helped blow him up because he's the one who had the money, the connection to Interscope, and therefore could pay for the lifestyle, recording studio sessions, promotion, music videos, everything that an artist needs to blow up in this internet era of music. And not that this is at all wrong, because it definitely all happened. However, I believe one person or a couple people within the mix were kind of left out on their side of the credit, since I believe that they played a huge part, indirectly at least. But before we reveal this mystery man, I think it's important that we go over a broad overview of Playboi Carti's early career. So bear with me if this is all review. But Playboi Carti originally started music because he joined the choir to get the hoes, but then he eventually liked singing or just reciting music, so then he continued to do so, but I guess on the opposite spectrum. Eventually he started rapping while he was still in high school and worked at H&M for a measly 4 days before some girls came up to him as fans of his music and asked him why he was working a job when he was a rapper.
Princess, look, like this, like, yo, you Carti? Yeah, bro, that song you got fire as fuck. How long you been working here? That shit don't sound right, bro. I'm like, man.
And so he quit and moved to the Bronx in New York. His first mixtape was titled Young Misfit under the alias Sir Cartier with 9 tracks, wherein he had more lyrical bars. He hadn't found his more mumble rap and bouncy style just yet. And around this time, he had signed to his first label, Awful Records, in 2014 to another rapper named Father, wherein he released one of his first significant SoundCloud hits, Young Zanho, where there exists a bit of controversy given the fact that upon further research, Playboi Carti was actually never officially signed on paperwork to Awful Records, nor was anyone at the time in 2014, given that it was just a collective, not necessarily a legal label just yet. And upon the day that they were going to offer a label deal to Playboi Carti, apparently Ian Connor swooped in and let A$AP Rocky know to fly Carti up to New York and make him an official A$AP Og member, which is why I guess we found out later on that Ian Connor still to this day receives 5% ownership of Playboi Carti's royalties, likely due to a finder's fee. But regardless, that's where he was introduced to Ethereal or Ethereal. I still have no idea how to pronounce that because he was also signed to Awful Records, and Carti even cites him as helping find his style that he has to this day, or maybe not the vamp, but the 2017, 2018-ish iconic Carti style. And as we mentioned a little bit before, he relocated from Atlanta to the Bronx to pursue music, wherein he crossed paths with Ian Connor, then A$AP Bari, and shortly after met A$AP Rocky at a South by Southwest party in 2015. Now keep this in mind because it is a very significant piece of this Carti puzzle. Soon afterwards, Carti featured on 2 songs in 2016 with the A$AP Mob on the Cozy Tapes Volume 1, Telephone Calls, in London Town, and later that year signed to the Og imprint, wherein then he released his self-titled mixtape on April 14th, 2017 while he was still living in LA, consisting of 2 Lil Uzi Vert features and of course predominant Pierre Bourne production that also included one of Playboi Carti's biggest hits to this day, Magnolia. That same year in 2017, he then featured on Cozy Tapes Volume 2 on RAF. He designed and modeled for V-Lone, which was A$AP Bari's streetwear brand that's also associated with A$AP Og. And so with all this affiliation with A$AP, many credit A$AP Rocky, the leader of the mob, for blowing up Carti because he did sign him to his label. In fact, Carti, Ian Connor, and A$AP Bari all stated that Rocky is kind of like the father figure that showed everyone how to eat.
He set it up to where he'd teach us how to cook, now we eat. That's what Rocky is. He teaches. That's like a father figure in my life. That's a big brother.
But as we all know, A$AP Rocky really only signed Carti because he was already starting to bubble in the underground. Therefore, a lot of fans actually credit Ian Connor for Playboi Carti's success in connecting the dots and increasing early awareness of his music. For during this time, Ian Connor actually acted as Playboi Carti's manager or pseudo manager, even appearing in interviews with Carti. And one of the main reasons that Playboi Carti actually met A$AP Rocky to then sign to his label later on was through the connection of Ian Connor, who knew A$AP Bari from Fashion, although allegedly A$AP Bari had already been listening to Playboi Carti on SoundCloud in the past. But regardless, there is no denying that Ian Connor helped Playboi Carti early on in his career, at least building up his following and image, as Ian Connor already had this cult-like fan base that a lot of people allude to Playboi Carti nowadays. For Ian Connor had already received major cosigns from people like Kanye, Virgil Abloh, A$AP Bari, and other streetwear fashion icons, self-proclaiming himself as the king of the youth. And with this early internet clout, Ian Connor did all he could to blow up Playboi Carti's Broke Boy song, previewing snippets online, even filming parts of the music video, wherein I can't imagine it was a very pleasant sight, but still acted as one of the most significant songs in Playboi Carti's early career, reaching new heights and of course later on signing to A$AP. Now this story seems very cohesive, no missing links, but what I believe a lot of fans overlook is where Playboi Carti was and who he was rocking with when he recorded this Broke Boy song, as well as another significant track around this same time, Fetty. For as you may or may not know, Playboi Carti actually moved to Texas for a few months in early 2015, but no one really knew why, because at this time he was still signed to Awful Records, or you know what I mean. Was it family? Was it friends? Who did he have out there? Well, earlier on this same year of 2015, on February 28th, Rolling Loud actually hosted their first event in Miami, wherein on the lineup, even though Playboi Carti himself did not hold that large of a following just yet, he performed with his label, Awful Records. But what's more is that backstage at this Rolling Loud performance, Playboi Carti actually ran into another rapper who already had a buzz out in Houston of Texas, which many of you probably already know from his collaborations with Carti, Maxo Kream, but also Lil Uzi Vert, A$AP Rocky, and so many others within the industry.
Your biggest song is actually a song with Playboi Carti, right? In terms of YouTube views?
Fetty. Yeah.
How did that come together?
In the middle of us whooping these niggas at this last show, Carti ran up to me. He like, hey, yo, bro, I'm Playboi Carti. I fuck with you, bro. Let me know, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta let my niggas know, like, nah, he good, he with us, woo, woo. When he come to Houston, he stay at my shit. It's him and Dash. We mobbing this shit like the whole South by. So later that night, I shoot the Cell Booming video with Father. But we shoot it at A$AP Rocky mansion. You know what I'm saying? He had like a little mansion in Austin. Boom, so we go over there, you know what I'm saying? This is the first time Carti met Rocky. Me and Carti do like 2 other songs. Then I like, fuck it, bro, let's all hop on something, call it Fetty. He really wanted the shit, you know what I'm saying? This is his whole persona with the shit. So yeah, I already knew, I always knew bro was gonna be big.
And if you notice, Maxo Kream actually had a song with Father, who is one of the heads of Playboi Carti's Awful Records label. And after Maxo Kream and Playboi Carti linked, then they went back to Texas, wherein then Maxo and Father shot their music video for Cell Boomin' around the same time as a South by Southwest event, where a lot of us know that Playboi Carti actually met A$AP Rocky. Since this very same music video was shot at an A$AP mansion, because Maxo had actually been cool with A$AP since like 2013, even going on tour and performing in Houston with the A$AP mob, and by that time already collaborating with A$AP Ant in 2014, featured on the Elevator YouTube channel, Mob of Gods. Therefore, in my opinion, without Maxo Kream already having his own buzz out in Houston, Texas, getting a cosign from A$AP Yams, who was the first person at A$AP to really notice his movement, and shooting a music video at the A$AP mansion where then Playboi Carti met his new label owner, maybe the sequence of events in Playboi Carti's career would have been much different. Not to mention the fact that Maxo Kream was really one of Playboi Carti's first cosigns, featuring on one of his early SoundCloud and music video hits, Fetty. In fact, during this time, Maxo Kream actually had a larger following than Playboi Carti, that Maxo actually addressed in his They Say song from his Weight of the World album, claiming that he put on Playboi Carti and then he soon after surpassed him. Which is why I can never really accredit someone's success so solely on one other person because I believe that all talented people will rise to the top no matter what. It just expedites the process a little bit. Maybe Playboi Carti would have met A$AP Rocky through Ian Connor later on if he had not been at this Cell booming music video shoot at the A$AP mansion, or maybe Playboi Carti would have remained independent for the rest of his career and just done his own thing. But regardless, I think we all know that Carti was a star from the beginning. We should also note that Maxo Kream is probably not the only person that we can credit, and that I feel like Awful Records and Father are forgotten within this Playboi Carti arc, because without Father there would be no Maxo Kream connection and so on and so forth. Also A$AP Yams, RIP. But with all that being said, y'all let me know in the comments who you think is responsible for Playboi Carti's success. Obviously he himself, but were there any factors that we forgot about? It's been your boy Bobbalam signing off, just trying to give everybody their flowers. Of course, make sure to like and subscribe and join the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, clap people. Nice seeing.